Okay, my bike is not entirely 100% warmed up, so I'm just going to chill out now. Alright guys, what I want to talk about in this vlog is dangerous animals and how they affect you as a motorcyclist. When we talk about dangerous animals, yes, there's the obvious dangerous animals, and I think under the obvious ones, let me just get past this dude here quickly. The obvious dangerous animals is dogs. Because dogs, I mean, a lot of people don't put their dogs on leashes, and what happens is the dogs break out the yards as well. And I've been bitten by a dog. A Labrador, funny enough, a Labrador, it's not even one of your most aggressive breeds, actually bit me on my left leg while I was on my bike. And I tell you, I was really pissed off. I was more pissed off at the owner than anything else. Because for the simple fact is, it's the owner's responsibility to keep his dog in his yard. And I've had a couple of occasions, guys, when dogs go for you, and you might have, maybe you guys out there might have experienced it as well. But if any dog goes for you on your bike or whatever, you know, especially if it's an area in which you live in, that you commute up and down regularly, you need to take that up there with law enforcement. They need to do something about that. Because, you know, and besides that, the dogs that run around can set you up for a real shitty day, because they could run in front of you. You know, YouTube is full of videos where guys on bikes have hit dogs and stuff like that. So dogs I would put as number one, because they're the most common. Number two, I would, in the area in which I live in, and there's probably other places in the world where you also get this as well, baboons. And in other parts of the world they probably don't have baboons, but they got some kind of monkey species that usually causes a lot of shit and can be a hazard to motorcyclists. Baboons, in the area in which I live in, they travel in packs or in groups, and they always come down from the mountains to the roadside because people feed the stuff, and you're not supposed to feed baboons. Nature conservation has said you don't feed a baboon. It is a wild animal. I wouldn't say that a baboon is dangerous to the point where they'll probably attack you if you're on your bike. They normally give bikes a bit of a berth, but they have been known to run in front. Oh yeah, look, talk of the devil. Talk of the devil. Look at these dudes. Look at these dudes. Look at this little right over here. Come on. And they feel. Look at this, man. They feel absolutely all. Speak of the devil. Hey, look at you little oh, anyway. Well, speak of the devil, guys. Really. Talking about baboons, and that was kind of well timed though. It's like my baboons are subscribed to my channel. There's no escaping them. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, they really don't give a f. I just warned those guys there, because you know, baboons run in front of you. and because they're like group, you could not only hit one, you could hit like a bunch of them. So you got to be so careful when biking, especially between Royals and Gordons Bay here in the Western Cape. There are other areas as well. Okay, I'm going to close the subject on baboons. I still can't believe that I'm talking about baboons, and I come around the corner and there's a whole damn group of them all waiting for me. Yeah, we knew you was talking about us. We knew you was talking about us. Okay, alright, I get the message. They got YouTube up there in the mountains too. Probably stole somebody's laptop and Wi-Fi dongle. Anyway, alright, those are the most obvious ones. And you know, when you're traveling at night time, third on the list is I've come across buck that they roam around at night time. They live in the bushes, and sometimes they come wandering across the road. And the problem is that when the light shines on their eyes, they sort of freeze, and that's a problem. And I hit a buck once, coming home late one night from work, and I was traveling at a low speed. I was doing about 70, and I dropped down to 60 when I saw the buck. And then I even slowed down further, and I tried to, because there was absolutely no cars on the road, I tried to go to the opposite side of the road so I could give him a seriously wide berth. And the next minute he ran straight in front of the bike, and I smacked him. And I killed the buck, unfortunately. And I don't enjoy doing things like guys, you know. It's obviously it's not on purpose, and I was just glad that I managed to survive that one, although it was at a very low speed. I could have still fallen, I could have still injured myself. So yeah, I'm just glad to have survived. Unfortunately, but number 4. Now this is where it gets a little interesting, because it's not always about the animals that are the obvious ones. It's about the less obvious ones, the ones that you don't always think about. And number 4 on my list would be spiders. Man, I hate spiders. There's a post up on Facebook recently that talks about a biker, South African biker, that I think he went from Cape Town to Plettenberg Bay or something like that, and old classic car. And what happened is that when he actually got to Plettenberg Bay, and I mean all the way there, he felt the itchiness on the inside of his helmet, you know, on top of his head, and he didn't know what it was, and you know, he didn't remove his helmet or anything. But by the time he reached his destination, what happened is that a big massive spider, probably almost the size of my hand, came crawling out of his helmet. Now guys, I gotta be honest with you, if that was me, I would have died right there and then, because I hate spiders. Okay, I can't handle it. I had one crawl on my bike before, okay, on my front headlight, and that wasn't cool. Luckily a friend of mine spotted it, and I f***ed him up and I threw him off my bike. I've even had a spider on the inside of my bike, but it was a very tiny one that came walking up my dual sport helmet's visor on the inside, and I pulled off to the side of the road and I killed it. But guys, you need to check your helmets. When you store your helmet, put it into a helmet bag and make sure that it's got kind of like a drawstring that you can seal it off. And because that can cause massive problems. You could get bitten, and if it's a poisonous spider, you could, you might get bitten and you might feel as if you're okay, and the next minute you could actually end up, losing consciousness or getting weaker, and you could have an accident or fall off your motorcycle. Like that has happened before. Don't think it won't happen. Number 5 on the list on my list anyway. I would put snakes down there. Believe it or not, I've had a couple of close calls with snakes already. I was biking out at Silver Mine last year, and here in the Western Cape, close to Cape Point, and I tell you, a woman, actually two cars in front of me had stopped, and there was a massive cobra in the road. I think I might still have the video. And the woman was frantic in the car in front. She actually opened up the door and tried to stop me, because obviously, me being on a motorcycle, I'm actually at a greater risk. A snake can bite you on your leg if you're driving past it. If you drive over it, that could also set you up for a real shitty day, because basically you could fall. I've never heard a case of anybody riding over a snake, falling, and then being bitten by the very same snake, but you know, I wouldn't like to hang around to find out. Well guys, I'm going to close this vlog off, go catch an afternoon nap, maybe watch a movie, do some editing, and remember to like this video and subscribe